Hey gang, Michael Zull here with another installment of MJZ Tips and Tricks for Media Production. Today we'll be working with GIMP, the GNU Image Manipulation Program, and it's a good alternative to Photoshop. It's open source, it's free, and in my experience, it's surprisingly powerful. So today we'll be doing a short tutorial on creating glow effects for your text and images to really make your graphics pop out on the documents that you're making. It's a simple and sometimes subtle effect, but it can make a huge difference in making your docs look professional. For those of you familiar with Adobe Photoshop, all sorts of effects are very easy to do with the Layer Styles function, such as outer and inner glow, bevel and emboss, so on and so forth. One of the effects that I so commonly use is to create an outer glow to my text, say for titles or other emphasis. This is not quite as easy to achieve in GIMP as it is in Photoshop, but is nonetheless relatively easy to do and even gives you more options for the styles that you want to later apply to the glow effects. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into this. So here I have a simple block of text that I've created in my GIMP project. Perhaps it's text that I want to use when I'm making a header or that I want to have be the title of the document that I'm working on. To give it some emphasis, I'll create this outer glow. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to find the layer that the text is on, right-click it, and select Alpha to Selection. Selecting Alpha to Selection has outlined the alpha channel of the layer that we have selected, which is the characters of this text layer. So I'll go ahead and hide this, and I can show you that the outline of all of the text characters has been made into our selection. So what we want to do to create this outer glow effect is you want to have our glow radiate outwards from the edges of our text characters. So I want the selection to become larger. I want to keep the selection that I have, but I want it to become larger and go from outward from the edges of our text characters. So we go to Select in the menu and select Grow. And typically for a title or a header or any other kind of text that I want to emphasize, I pick something usually between 2 and 5 pixels just for a subtle effect. But for this example, we'll go ahead and use 10 pixels just to exaggerate it and give you an idea of exactly what is happening here. So as we zoom in, we can see that the selection that we had around our text characters has grown by 10 pixels. Now that we have our grown selection around our text characters, the next thing we want to do is select the color that we want this text to glow. So in my color picker, I'm going to pick a red, and I want this glow effect to go on a separate layer, independent from the text layer. So I go to the new layer, and we'll title this layer Text to Glow, hit OK. And I want to fill my selection with the color that I want the text to glow. So I go to Edit, Fill with Foreground Color. And now I can see that our grown selection from our text elements has been completely filled with the color that we've selected from our color picker. So now we've created our glow effect in the proper layer, and we want to move it down in the visibility hierarchy so that we can see our original text on top of the glow effect. Now we'll zoom out a little bit and you can see, there it is. A 10 pixel glow effect with our specified color radiating outward from the edges of our text elements. Okay, so we have our glow layer, and what we have is a hard outline, essentially, of our text elements that's really prominent in your face. And what we're going for in this tutorial is to make more of a glow effect, so it looks like light emanating from the text characters that are in our layer. So what we're going to do is go to our text glow layer and soften those edges to make it look like it's light. So we go to Filters, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and you can see already that even on the default that it softens the edges just a bit. When we're working with a white background, I found that the best abyss policy is to go ahead and set that as white. And then we can play with the amount of blur that we want happening. Softer or harder. So for this, I wanted to have a prominent red outline, but also meld into the background a bit. Soften the edges so that it just seats itself back into the document. So something like that looks great. We'll hit OK, back out, and there you go. That's all I've got for today. Have fun with your graphic design, everybody. You can reach me at MixMikeZ on YouTube, mixmikez@gmail.com, or my Twitter, also at MixMikeZ. Stay tuned for the next installments of MJZ Media Production Tips, where I talk about technical documentation, audio, video, and graphic design methodologies to help you create the media you and your consumers need. Take care.